If you're a writer and you clicked on this video, there is a 95% chance that you are writing stories incorrectly. Most writers' process, especially beginners, look a little something like this. You open up your writing software of choice, stare at a blank page for 20 minutes, go jack off to achieve post-nut clarity, come back and stare at the page for another 15 minutes, and bam! A stroke of genius finally hits you. You grin from ear to ear and begin to excitingly type at the keyboard. The words are being burned into the virtual page. And before you know it, you are no longer staring at a blank page, but now the words fade in. You quickly stop yourself from writing anything else because the idea of you actually doing anything you would consider to be work makes you feel nauseous. So, you go jerk off again. Yeah, despite what adaptation would like you to believe, that's not how the professionals do it. Simply putting what's in your head onto the page is inefficient and is the quickest way to get writer's block. So, how are you supposed to write stories? Well, before we prescribe the solution, we must first diagnose the underlying problem. Knowing why you do something is always better than knowing what to do. And the biggest obstacle that arises when writing in this archaic manner is creativity. Let me explain. Creativity is like a good friend who also happens to be a crackhead. And this crackhead friend of yours loves to do cool things for you. The problem is that he's a crackhead, and he's not always gonna do the cool thing you want him to do. I mean, it may in fact be pretty cool, but you actually needed him to do something else that was cool, like figuring out the first act of your screenplay. And because he's a crackhead, he's not gonna get around to doing that until he feels satisfied with what he's currently working on. Even when he gets around to actually work on the first part of the story, who knows how long it's gonna take him before he wants to work on the climax again. And you see, this is where you and the professionals differ. While you just sit there playing with yourself as your crackhead friend does this cool thing, waiting until he's finished so you could actually work on the beginning of your story, the professional simply writes it down. No, not on the page, you buffoon. The story has not cooked enough for that stage yet. Instead, he writes it down on a sticky note, or as a professional writer likes to call it, a story beat. You may think doing this extra step may cause for more delay. However, it will lighten the amount of writer's block, which will not only speed up the time it takes you to finish a story, but will increase the quality tremendously. I mean, a good artist does not start by inking out their outline in the beginning, but instead sketches. So what makes you think you could do the same for writing? Now, how you're actually supposed to write these sticky notes seems to vary from writer to writer. It can be as vague as a whole scene, or as specific as a single action. But it seems a good compromise is one character's action and another character's reaction to constitute a beat. But take your time experimenting. Just know the vaguer the beat, the more heavy lifting you're gonna have to do later on in the actual writing process. Now, as I stated before, to prevent writer's block during this process, simply work with your crackhead. It does not matter if it's not what happens next, because these beats are easily reorganizable. Just write down what is stuck in your head and move on. And your crackhead friend will be a lot more willing to help you with the part you need him to help you with. But now that you know how to write the text of your story, you'll need to know how to write characters, which, for your convenience, I have so graciously placed on your screen. How nice of me, right? Kinda makes you wanna like and subscribe, right? Right? Heh, right? Right? Heh, heh, right? Heh, right? Right? Like and subscribe, right? Heh, right? Right? Heh, right?